Hello, welcome to Monday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by Magnicraft Consulting Team, anchored by Nii Dumade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Nii Dumade.
Good morning, everyone, from wherever you are in the face of the earth. It delights my heart to just come to your way this morning. Every Monday morning, it's always an exciting time for me because I'm going to give you something good, something fresh, and something that's going to benefit you as a church leader and your church. So please stay with me. I've been on the perspective shift from the beginning of this month, and I'll be going deeper into that discussion this morning. Please, I want you to just share some of the contents with a church leader, a pastor who is really trying to make sure that there is some impact in this pandemic or these disruptions that we have. So pandemic shift, the first week of September, we talked about loving, knowing, and reaching out to God. Okay, loving, knowing, and reaching out to God. Then the second week, just get back to that clip. I don't want to recap because I want to go deep into what we have for today. Okay, and then the second week we talk about loving and knowing and reaching out to yourself. Okay, because you cannot give what you don't have. As a pastor, you have to be fed before you can feed. You have to be protected before you can protect. You have to get what you want to offer to someone by yourself first before you can offer whatever you have. So we talked about that. This is the right time for you to take a kind of a leave off work, take some retreats, take some sabbatical leave, and make sure that you have some form of refreshing. A lot of pastors having some form of decline in their performance because of the high demand of what the pandemic has brought our way. So I'll be focusing this week on loving, knowing, and reaching out to your church. Okay, loving and knowing and reaching out to your church. So today, I want to just say clearly that your church is comprising of human beings. Yeah, they are non-essentials, non-human, for example, but the church basically is not a building, it's the team, your members, your volunteers, your workers, your staff, the people, the leaders, the congregation. That's what makes the church. Okay, and although the local church is not the bride, because in the church, you can have all kinds of people who are giving their life to Christ, people who have not given their life to Christ. They are in the church. So the church is comprised of a lot of people, different kinds of people. And in the wake of COVID-19 crisis, a lot of church leaders are facing a lot of declining in their attendance. People are not getting involved. People are not enthusiastic anymore about the things of God. In-person services has dropped. Online services, you don't actually know what is going on at the back end. All you just know is that you are speaking to a camera and you don't have a form of feedback on the impact you are creating. There's infrequency of attendance. Infrequency of attendance has dropped. Okay, the generation that took Sunday sacred and go to church every Sunday has faded away. The new generation now, they go to church, they go to work on Sunday morning. So Sunday morning to them is no longer sacred. So the frequency of attendance on a monthly basis had dropped from 2 or 3 to less than even 1 because of the pandemic. It was like 2 before. So we need to fashion out a solution strategy to see how we can imbibe that culture and lost habit of coming to church frequently. And that must just come to a point whereby you as a church must zero in to ensure we align with God's mission. It's going to cause some ripples if you have not done that, but doing that will actually make you to get God by your side and make sure that you fulfill purpose So a lot of churches are overwhelmed with stress, with burnout. Okay, the leadership is stale because there's a lot of demand now for digital skills and online impact. Okay, and there's also an issue of structure problem. Okay, there's an issue of exhaustion. A lot of people are putting in so much, they are not seeing so much returns of what they are putting into the work. There's reduced and dwindling community impact. Okay, and also people are also missing out on the Jesus experience that they usually have before the pandemic. Now, the health and growth of a local church is now nosediving. And what I'm saying is that the world will be a better place if you have good, healthy churches, strong, healthy churches. It's even worse to have first-timers come to your church and not return anymore. If I'm yet to see a church who does not want his church to grow, who does not want his church to be healthy. All pastors want that good news that they will embrace to ensure that church is growing and their church is healthy. So there are a lot of things that are bothering the pastor today as regards to the church, as also regards to what is happening with the pandemic conditions. So one of the things we need to also find out is that as we are running the church, are we fulfilling? Are we getting fulfilled? Are we fulfilling the Great Commission? Are we a friendly church? Are we a fruitful church? Okay, we have to be fulfilling, we have to be friendly, and we have to be fruitful in everything we do as a church. Now, one of the things I want to applaud us as a church is to be able to 4 things I want to advise right now. Get on the drawing board to assess your church. Let me come in to assess for you as an objective observer and give you a report. You can take it, you might not take it, that's up to you. But a proper assessment is actually very good before you can start any prescription. It is just foolishness and stupidity to start administering medicine when you have not properly diagnosed or you have not properly assessed. So one of the things you need to do first of all is to first assess the situation. Then have a plan, okay? Have a plan. Like, people are going to come back to church post-COVID. What plans do you have to make them have that culture and revive or restore that lost habit of coming to church frequently? So we need to plan. Then 3, we need to strategize. How can you strategize? And then after strategizing, you have to start to implement. Now, all these things will be on the foundation of one thing. Your vision framework must be pandemic proof. Your vision principles must be pandemic proof. Your mission must be aligned with God's mission. It's not about you as a senior pastor coming with fantastic vision or fantastic missions, but those vision and mission must be aligned with what God wants. And you must be able to do church the way God wants it to be done. And that's when you can get the blessing of God upon your church. You must expand your scope of intelligence. Now, the world has gone digital. The world has gone wild. Okay, www is what they call the Internet of Things. Is the language of is a norm now. So you need to expand your scope of intelligence. And what do I mean? Your church has a profile. Okay, just like you are either introverted or extroverted. So a church can either be inwardly focused or outwardly focused. Okay, a church can be sanguine or a melancholic kind of church, or a phlegmatic kind of. They love people to so that they can kill the vision. They are choleric. They are so task-oriented and program-driven. So you need, as a pastor, as the leader of the church, you need to understand your church profile. What is my church profile? And that means that you have to expand your scope of intelligence in terms of intelligence quotient, your emotional quotient of your church, your positive intelligence, your artificial intelligence, your generational intelligence. In terms of the strata of people, the category of people that are in your church, and how do they interplay, your social skills. So what I'm saying is that your relationship and people skills is key. Not only the Bible is very key, because human beings thrive on relationship. And that's the future of the church. That's the future wealth, the need of the church. Ensure that you use demographics. psychographics and media graphics, because right now those days, if you want to disseminate information, make sure you put it in a newspaper. Make sure that by 7 o'clock NTA News, that's the local station, international and national station in my country, everybody gather at 7 o'clock to listen to news. Right now you can get news round the clock at the finger of your smartphone. Everything is becoming smart TV, smart bed, smart laptop, everything is becoming smart, and you have to be able to harness all this smartness to your own advantage. So use demographics, use psychographics, use media graphics. People have a preference of how they want to disseminate information. People have their own attitude preference. People also have the way they want to be led. Okay, the way they want to be led as a sheep. So some people want to show me the way. Some people want, oh, be with me in the job. Some people want to stay afar and just give me instruction. Now, if you know the way at which your congregation wants you to lead them, it's a matter for you just to lead them. Not that you as a leader, you like this leadership style. Okay, you have to get to speak the language, the leadership language of your people by with a background of understanding your church profile. Okay, that's a mixture of all the people, the profiles of your church. Because the truth about it is that if every one of your church is sanguine in nature, of course there's a high possibility that your church will be friendly because they want to be happy, jolly going and that kind of thing. But if your church is tax oriented, okay, they just want to get program, activity done, you're going to have a lot of projects done, but you will not be able to do so much with yourself. So you need to understand your church profile very, very, very carefully. What kind of people do you have in your church? What kind of people do you have in your church? I'm yet to see a church who will harness fully the potentials of the people God has blessed them with. There's so much in you, there's so much in your church. I know a lot of churches that are doing well, but there's still some people in your church that can come on board and take it to a higher level. So there's so much in your church. What are your people's strengths? What are your people's strengths? How can you maximize the potentials of your people? Okay, how can you maximize the potential of your volunteers, your staff? Okay, how can you also develop them so that you can be able to adapt and be relevant to the demands of what the world is throwing at the church? Okay, do you understand? Can you take advantage of the combined profile of your church in today's world to be outwardly focused? Okay, are you also maximizing the resources to reach the community with your church profile that you have found out? How can you harness the church profile to reach out to the community? And what I will say here in a quickly is make sure that the main goal is the main goal. Make sure that the essential is the essential. Major on the major. Don't minor on the major, and don't major on the minor. Stay connected as a church. Cultivate relationship, healthy one for that matter. Okay? Don't always shy away from the fact that there should not be conflict in the church. Sometimes conflict is also good for healthy relationship. Shared ownership. Don't run church like a family, okay, or an empire business or a mafia kind of conglomerate. Okay, shared ownership. It is our church, all right, and also provide care. We need to understand the dangers of pseudo-health church. I've seen a lot of churches who are large in number, but they are unhealthy. Okay, it gives us the outward, just like when you see somebody obese. Oh, this person is well fed, but the person is not healthy. That's how some churches are. They give us the characteristics and the features of a pseudo-healthy church. Okay, they do well. The people are following them online. They have a large number of crowds. They have money, but that's not the. You can see have somebody who has a lot of money in his account, but he's unhealthy. There are statistics at which we use to know that the church is healthy. So you need to understand the dangers of pseudo-healthy church. You say that you are seeing the church growing numerically does not mean the church is healthy. You are seeing money coming in a lot of quantity does not mean that your church is healthy. So you need to guide that away from that danger of a pseudo-healthy church in these present times we are living in. When you have a church that is small, okay, mid-size or large, What I mean pseudo healthy church is when you have a church, whatever the site may be, and is also showing, I mean, it's showing features of healthiness, but is unhealthy in its true state. Okay, because unhealthiness, it takes a lot of things to be able to, a lot of assessment and diagnosis to know that a church is actually healthy, and to be able to, you need to validate what is going on, what is going wrong in your church. Okay, and to turn a church from unhealthiness to healthy is a daunting task, but it has to be intentional. It has to be purposeful. It has to be deliberate. It can't be done if you are able to go to the drawing board and make sure that you work smarter, you work appropriately, and then you are able to get the desired result. Overworked pastors are not healthy. They don't create healthy church. Burnout. In fact, a pastor who tries to leverage on systems, leverage on using people, okay, will be able to have a healthy church. So don't shy away from the information I gave you the last time, where you as a pastor, you should not build everything around you. Okay, make sure that you build everything around the systems of people who can actually take this work to the next level. Your church calendar must not be choked. There must be white spaces for people to rest. You know, I said last week that you as a pastor, you should be able to take some, you should not be preaching 52 Sundays every year. Have some other people in your church who can take the platforms you have and take it up to another level. There are some things you cannot do that somebody in that church can do, and you need to leverage on collaboration and synergy to be able to take your church to the next level. All right, so 7 unavoidable questions. I want to wrap up that in quickly. Avoidable questions every leader must answer when you want to address your church. What do we do? What is our mission statement? What do we do? That's our mission statement. 2, how do we get it done? That is our strategy. It must be clear. What is our strategy to get the mission done? Okay, the mission is the mission, and you have to just focus on the mission. 3, what are the guiding principles we live by? That's the values, our core values. 4, how do we measure or win? How do we measure a win or success? Okay, that's like a dashboard or a scoreboard. Because when you are implementing your strategy, you need to know that you are actually making progress. You need to know that you're actually making a win. You need to know that you're actually making success. You're actually making an impact. 5, do you have the right people in the right seats, moving in the right direction? It's a very Jim Collins wrote a fantastic book, and you can read it, and also the one on social sector. Find out that you have the right people in the right seat, in the right direction. That has to do with team alignment. Everybody's aligned, because the truth about it is that when there's alignment, or all your systems are working in alignment, it helps you health. In fact, you are healthy. If the brain, nervous system, digestive system, all of them are working together, you don't know whether you have any system in your body. But it is when something goes wrong that you know that there's a stomach somewhere. That's when you have a running stomach. Okay, so please, that team alignment, make sure that you have the right people at the right seat, in the right direction. The last 2 questions you need to ask: how do we change the culture of our church? Now, a lot of people, the culture of attending has dropped. A lot of culture is derailing right now. We need to have that culture plan, okay, to make sure that what we want our people to, how we want our people to behave is what we are saying. Okay, how do we change the culture of our church? Okay, and how do we match what we say? Because I've seen a lot of leaders who say good things, but they don't do good things. Okay, they say so much, but they do little. Because the truth about it is that what brings about the result is what you do, not what you say. Yes, what you say has some impact, but what you do is what brings the result. So how do we match what we say with what we do? Okay, how do we match what we say and its importance to what we do? That's our services. I want to wrap it up here in 20 minutes. I said this month I'm going to be stretching up so much to share, but I have to stop here. Okay, I want to round up here with this: the dangers of comparing your church with another church. Okay, I've seen that a lot, where this is responding to this. This is, this is foolishness. Every church is unique. And every church should not be comparing themselves with another. There's a danger of it. In fact, there's foolishness in that, trying to compare or trying to do your own church like another church. Your church is unique, your church is peculiar, and you don't have to be in any competition with anybody. Our competitors are the bush bar, are the nightclubs, are those ones who are stealing our sheep into the kingdom of darkness. And we need to collaborate. If our churches in a locality can come together to do evangelism, they can come together to do an outreach, they can come together to reach out to the community. So comparison creates dissatisfaction and unhealthy expectation. It creates a lot of complex and a lot of disturbance in terms of health-wise. All right, so it's not greener at the other side. It is only greener where you wet it. So your church will be greener if you do some work to make it greener. I want to wrap it up here. Please follow me on my social media handles, on all my social media handles. Facebook, please go share this thing to a church leader. On Twitter, I'm there. On YouTube, go hit the bell, subscribe button on my YouTube channel. On Instagram, please like my Facebook channel, and I'm sure you'll be glad you did. Next Monday, I'm going to be wrapping up nicely on this. I'm sure you are blessed. Please share this video with, make some comments, reach out to me if you have any question or any question. Please, I will be glad to. My response rate is very, very superb. Okay, you can check my page. If you have not liked my page, please like my page, and please make some comments. If there's something I said you need some clarification, or you need a material, or you need a template, reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you in no time. So I want to wrap it up here. My name is Dumade. I'm the founder and the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting, and we help churches grow healthier through assessment, diagnosis, and strategic blueprints. So I'll be glad to help you, church. As you know, one of the things that is that as businesses are folding up because of the pandemic and the economic crunch, a lot of churches are going to be folding up. But my heart is that the local church will be among those who is going to strive and survive the test of time. Thank you for allowing me to come to your space. I'm so thrilled that you're able to stay true to the end. Thank you so much. Make that comment. I'm going to respond to you. Till I see you again next Monday, God bless you. And from my heart, I love you. Thank you.